Dara, do you buy all of your murder weapons at Home Depot?
Yeah, bitch. I fucking do.
Do you have that employee discount?
Yeah.
Because Henry works there.
Honestly, Henry works in the flooring department, though, and I don't know what in the flooring department could be used as a good, like, a tile. Could, like, smash a tile.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go have to hit up hardware, because that seems a lot better. But now you have to call me Butch.
Yeah. It's so Butch of you.
Well, if you couldn't tell by one very specific line of dialogue, today we're discussing the film Jenniffer's Body.
A real cult classic.
Yeah, and it's going to be really interesting because this movie was a total flop when it first came out, and now I think it's definitely regarded as, like, big cult classic, like, beloved energy.
Yeah.
And we picked it for our LGBT month. It is Pride Month, so we picked all gay films, and this film is not
explicitly gay.
Like, there is a girl-on-girl makeout scene, which was that planted in order to draw in horny young boys?
No, I don't think so.
That's what, I think originally people thought it to be, like, pandery, and that's why they didn't like it, and I think after some years of reflection, people have realized that this truly is a woman who love women film, but you just had to get past some of that like, kitschy marketing shit that they did at the beginning.
I wouldn't necessarily call it a queer film, but I would certainly say it's fruity.
When we were picking movies to watch this month, we were like, okay, we can, like, because there's so many movies you can be like, oh, it feels gay, but it's not, you know, like Lord of the Rings. You're like, it just feels really gay, but, like, I cannot justify it as a piece of LGBT cinema. It's like Moulin Rouge. People are like, oh, it's like, no, they're just doing musical theater. No, it's not gay.
Exactly. Yeah, I think this one, I feel like I can call it queer cinema because I know that...
Well, at least it happens.
Yeah.
There's a kiss. There is a Jennifer Fox, Amanda Seyfried kiss scene.
I think for the queer community, specifically the queer community on Tumblr between 2013 and 2015, there was a video that just circulated of Amanda Seyfried and Megan Fox kissing for, like, every 3 months it came around. And I feel like it really awoke something in a lot of people.
Like, with or without context. Like, I remember seeing it, like, oh, Jennifer's Body, 2009, but also, like, zero context, just like, isn't this fucking hot?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, we're The Swamp. We're a movie podcast. The Swamp is an acronym.
For some whack-ass movie podcasting. And
as you can see, we got a little away from ourselves because this movie really just has a lot of fucking shit to talk about. It's fucking crazy. This movie came out in 2009, and it was written and produced by the same writer of Juno, which was really interesting to me, and I thought that knowing that going into it, really, like, I caught a lot of the similarities. Like, the quippy dialogue, the use of, like, very odd lingo. Like, you know that way in Juno that they, like, call each other home slice and, like, weird, like, things that you're like, nobody talks like that.
Yeah, very, like, 2007.
But it was, like, funny in a movie, and in this same way, like, the way they talked in this movie, I'm like, is that lingo so outdated, or did it just never exist?
Yeah, because, like, I can't really say because I was, like, 10 years old when this movie came out. But, like, there are certain things, like, what she was saying, like, oh, you're so jelly, you're green jello.
Yeah. And she
which I'm like, I remember jelly being, like, a whole thing.
Yeah, but, like, she calls her, like, Tampax or something. Like, they have these weird nicknames.
What's up, Monistat?
Yeah, like, what? Like, so strange. And that's just, like, I think kind of pushing, like, things that were silly lingo and then, like, just pushing it into that realm of, like, abso-fucking-lutely not. But I really liked the way this movie was written. I thought the dialogue was very fun and engaging.
Very quick.
And I know that, like, a lot of movie reviewers hated it. Like, this movie got horrible. It barely broke even domestically for the budget. Like, it was considered a flop.
That doesn't shock me about, like, movie reviews. But, like, I think, and I want to get to it right off the bat, because this movie was marketed so poorly and so terribly, and a lot of it was to do with the fact that Megan Fox was coming off of the, oh god, what's the name of it? Transformers movies. So Fox was entirely trying to market it as, like, oh, look at this sexy Megan Fox, and they pretty much marketed it all to men.
Right.
Which is exactly the opposite demographic you want to market it to. Like, I read a thing about the writers and director, and they were like, yeah, no, this was supposed to be for young women the same age as Needy and
Yeah,
Jennifrer.
high school girls, right? And it was written, produced by a woman. It was directed by a woman. And at no point during this film was I like, oh, this is like a slasher flick with hot girls in it. That's for boys. Like, no.
This is for girls. This is just for girls.
Right, this movie is for the gals.
The gals and the gays.
The she's, theys, and gays is who this movie is for. And I will state it plain and clear.
Yeah. If you're a straight man, I don't think you'll like this film. That's plain and simple.
Jennifrer, the titular role, Megan Fox, so fucking sexy. Obviously, it's impossible. You could put her in a nun outfit. You could put her in a habit, and she would still be the hottest person on screen. Megan Fox is just objectively so fucking sexy.
Gorgeous.
She literally is eating people's flesh. She is ripping into people's cavernous bodies with her hands. Like, you cannot sexualize her here.
No.
She's eating people. Yeah. She's a demon. Her eyes roll back into the back of her head and she fucking is eating people. That can be sexy. A little bit.
For some people.
For some people.
Not for me,
but I just don't see how a young straight man would see this and be like, oh my god, I want Megan Fox to fucking murder me. Yeah, that's how I felt. But I'm not your teenage boy.
I'm not,
you know? And I just don't think there was any sort of character that young men could relate to. Like, if there had been, like, a young male protagonist, say if the Needy character had been, like, a guy, boy or something, you know, maybe they could have, like, spun that to be like, oh, young men will relate and he saves the day, whatever. No, there's no place for you. There's no place for the male perspective in this movie. And there's some girl-on-girl kissing, so that's why we fucking picked it for Queer Month. Also, I just think this movie turned a lot of people gay.
Exactly.
You're right. Exactly. Young Tumblr women who were like, oh.
I remember seeing this and thinking long and hard.
Also,
I'm like, wait, am I realizing something here?
Has something awoken inside of me? Because Megan Fox
definitely did.
Megan Fox in Transformers was like so sexualized to the point where it was like fucking ridiculous. Yeah. They're like, she's gonna be washing a car in a bikini. She's never gonna say anything of value. And you know who her love interest is? Shia LaBeouf. Like, fuck off. Are you fucking
that
kidding
aged
me?
Like milk.
Ugh. But just, I think that she does not get nearly enough credit because I also know a lot of the criticism for this movie was like, Megan Fox. Megan Fox.
Say what you mean.
Megan Fox is, a lot of people were like, she's not a good actor. She's just stupid.
No, she's a great actress.
I do not understand how you could watch this movie and at the end of it say that she is only sexy.
No.
Because
she's outstanding.
Oh my god, I just cannot stress
She was
enough.
one of those people that, like, you know when you're really taken aback by, like, how well someone embodies a role?
Yes.
That was this.
Jennifrer check. Yes. It was perfect to the T. She totally got that, like, early 2000s it girl, but, like, with the dark, like, possessed by a demon, manipulative, totally gaslighty. The way throughout the movie just kept being, like, gaslight,
gatekeep, girl boss.
Like, she's just, like, Needy, I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. You need to seek help.
She's like, oh, I puked up, like, black bile on your floor. No, I didn't. You're crazy. Get a manicure. Your nails are fucked.
No, but she's totally like that girl who's like mean to your face, but in a way that still makes you want to be her friend.
Yeah. We all know that girl. You know what I mean? Like, whether it's 2009 or 2021.
And she was so perfect. And you can't just say that was just her. You can't just say that she's just hot. No. She's not just hot.
She did have to act for this movie.
Yeah, right. Right, and there are other people up for this role. It's not like, I mean...
Who was up for this role, by the way?
I have to...
Jen did some research.
Jen did some research for us. I guess Blake Lively was who they initially had in mind.
I could have seen that going really well.
She totally does that, like, hot, mean girl, but, like, with the twist thing really, really good. But I guess her Gossip Girl schedule was too much conflict.
That's fair.
So they went with Megan Fox. And I guess also...
Kristen Stewart?
Maybe not Kristen Stewart, but I know Brie Larson. Yeah, I guess Brie Larson was also pretty highly considered for the Needy role.
I could see her being a good mean girl. I feel like it would have been too much Scott Pilgrim if she got it, though, because...
No, Needy. She was going to be Needy.
She was going to...
Yeah, right? I think it was because of, I don't know. But she was going to be Needy, but obviously they went with Amanda Seyfried. But
Which I'm glad they did.
They tried so hard to make her frumpy and nerdy.
Which, like, I'm still attracted to Amanda Seyfried in this. With like, as much as they make her, like, terribly, like, ugly,
I'm like, Harry
it's Amanda
Potter glasses.
I'm like, it's Amanda Seyfried.
Oh my God.
Come on.
They're like, her best friend is the head cheerleader, Megan Fox, but she is just a nerd. She wears glasses and takes writing classes.
The entire time, I just can't stop thinking about her and Mamma Mia.
Right? But even just, like, literally every scene where she just takes off her glasses, I'm like, oh, reminder, you're Hollywood hot.
Yeah.
Like, they were trying so hard. They're like, oh, can you just stand with bad posture, Amanda?
Yeah.
You're too hot to be embodying
your shoulders are, like,
yeah.
just slouch
concave.
Slouch as much as you can.
Oh, but if you've never seen this movie, Jenniffer's Body, it's a pretty classic-y horror slasher demon succubus type film. 2009.
Should we give a rundown?
Quick rundown. Yeah, honestly, I think it's pretty to the point.
Yeah, I mean, it's popular girl Megan Fox, who's Jennifrer, and little nerdy girl Amanda Seyfried, who plays Needy. Which the fact that they gave her the name Needy
her name is
terrible.
Anita. Her name is Anita, but for some reason they just call her Needy, and I'm like, oh my God, can you imagine having that nickname, having to live with that?
It's really tough.
Bummer. But they're best friends like since childhood, and they really stuck through it despite their differences, despite Jenniffer being the hot cheerleader girl and Needy being kind of
the
dorky
nerd
and awkward, but they hang out every day and they're besties.
Yeah, and so Jenniffer's like, Needy, come to this show with me, and Needy's like, no, and Jenniffer's like, please, and she's like, okay. So
you don't have to twist my arm.
Yeah. So she goes to like this local like towny sort of show with her. And...
I guess they live in a really small town where the only attraction is this big waterfall that
really
leads into a pit, and nobody knows where the pit goes.
Yeah. So what ends up happening is there's this band at this bar which Jenniffer wanted to see, and all of a sudden a fire breaks out at the bar. It's like it's really terrible. Like, a lot of people die.
Yeah, like dozens of people die, and for some reason they escape like through this back window. And then they get out there, and the guy from the band is like, oh, hey,
you want to get in my van?
Do you want to like go somewhere safe, aka my van? And Needy is very responsible, and she's like, this is fucked up. And he's like, no, Jenniffer, drink some whiskey and come in my
Jennifer's
van.
like in a daze, like when this happens too, which was really weird because she hadn't been drinking or anything like that.
No.
But so Jenniffer she's
like, fuck off, Needy.
Aside from all better judgment, she's like, no, I'm gonna get in this van and go with all of these strangers. So they take Jenniffer and they pretty much perform a human sacrifice, which they needed a virgin for, but unbeknownst to them, Jenniffer is not a virgin.
Well, and there had been a previous thing where they're like, oh, she's totally one of those girls who, like, makes it seem like she got it all out there, but really she's, like, never done anything. She's one of these small town girls. And Needy over here...
Like, she's a total virgin.
And she comes over, she's like, that's my best friend, and actually, I'm gonna stick it to you, she's a virgin, which is not the truth.
Which Jenniffer later reinforces, too, so, like...
She's very, like, owning of it. She's like, yeah, like, who cares? But also, so this is, like, kind of interesting, and I don't know how much, like, truth this holds to it, because I've heard, like, different, like, reports of the meaning of the phrase, but I guess a virgin sacrifice, oftentimes when it's like, we need the blood of a virgin for the sacrifice, it can just mean the blood of somebody who has never participated in a blood sacrifice before, meaning that they are a sacrifice virgin. So, like, the blood of a virgin...
anyone that has not been a blood sacrifice
Right, well, like,
before,
if we're like, oh, they
which
need
I
the
feel
blood.
like is most people.
Yeah, but even just like,
I feel like you'd be dead if you...
Like, using your blood for a ritual or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh...
So you're
like,
not a witch.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, a sacrificial virgin. But I've also read that people are like, well, that's one case of it. But also, in most contexts, like, as far back as you can tell, it is, like, in the sexual way.
Yeah. But so, the whole thing is, like, they're gonna sacrifice Jenniffer, and they think she's a virgin. She's not a virgin.
Then they fucking murder the shit
out of her. But she doesn't die because she's not a virgin, essentially. And she goes on to... It's like this whole complicated thing, and she's pretty much have the spirit of a demon in her.
Like,
after
she
this.
dies technically, but because she didn't fit the bill for the sacrifice,
Yeah.
while she was dead, they were like, well, you can be the host for a demon.
Yeah.
And she still, like, is herself, you know? She's not, like, fully possessed
But
or
now
anything.
she needs to eat people to
she's
stay
but she's like immortal.
functional.
She like can't fucking die. Like if she gets
that's
hurt,
a lie.
well if she gets like hurt, it like heals. You know, she's
Yeah.
got like demon
Unless
powers.
she's like mortally wounded. Yeah.
But like
So pretty much Jennifrer goes around wreaking havoc, eating boys for the rest of the movie. And the film pretty much ends when she eats Needy's boyfriend, and Needy goes afterwards and kills her with a box cutter, and then Needy's put into prison.
But there's like a weird little twisty-dist where Megan Fox scratches at Needy during their little scuffle that they have, and because Needy was attacked by a demon but like survived
She's absorbed some of her powers.
She's absorbed some of the demoness powers, so Needy can like levitate and like fucking I don't know.
She's not super fucked up. She doesn't have to eat humans, but she's got all the cool parts of being a demon, you know what I mean?
That secondhand demon shit.
She kind of got off like in the best way with that.
But
like,
so she goes to prison, but then she breaks out of prison, and then she finds the knife that the band used to kill Jennifrer, and she
kills the band.
She kills the band, and that's
which you have to stay through the credits to see that, which I think is really cool and really interesting.
It's not like it's an end credit scene or anything. Like it leads right into it, but it is shot in a different style. Yeah, in a credit style,
which I liked a lot.
Pretty cool. Because I also like that like ending where it's just like her picking up the knife and being like, "Well, I'm gonna go do this," and like that's the ending too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this movie at its core is about fucking female friendships, bro. Because
just some gal pals.
Because even at the end of the day, Needy still gets revenge or like avenges Jenniffer's death, like or her like that shit that got happened. Because basically from the minute it happens, Needy, she's a smart cookie, and she's like, some fuck shit is happening here. She's like, that's not Jennifrer. Like, Jennifrer is a dumb bitch, but she's not like evil. That, And so she goes to the library and she figures this shit out, like research, stat. She's just like, okay, the symptoms, WebMD, let me put in the symptoms, black bile, check.
Eating
flesh, check. And she's like, oh my god, this bitch is by a demon. And like
she say by a demon?
She's just by a demon. And but through it all, she's like, I know that's not my friend, you know? And so I'm not saying she's trying to help her in any case, but like I think she very much like she cracks the case.
Yeah, it is really sad. Could you imagine killing your best friend? Oh my god. Like that sucks.
Honestly, I would not have taken it into my own hands. I would found like, I'm not gonna say the local police force were the solution, but I would have got somebody else to do it. I'd be like, hey, the local boys of this nation, you're gonna get fucking ate.
You think you could have like convinced the boys though? Because they're
no, because as Needy, she's kind of awkward, and basically Megan Fox's whole thing is that she like goes up to them and is like, I wanna fuck, and they're like, Megan Fox, I cannot say no to you. And then she's like, haha, joke's on you, your lunch. But, like, none of them even hesitate to start, like, hooking up with her or whatever. And even fucking Needy's boyfriend.
Yeah, he's like, oh shit, Needy broke up with me? I guess the second best thing is to bang your friend.
Right? But, like, the friend that he's been, like, bad-mouthing the whole time, he's like, Needy, like, you need to stay away from Jennifrer. Like, she's bad news. Like, she's mean to you. She's not a good friend, whatever. And he's like, oh, like, you just don't understand our friendship, whatever. But then the minute Jennifrer just fucking makes up a lie, is like, oh yeah, Needy was, like, fucking some other guy behind your back. Haha, that sucks.
He's like, okay, we're gonna bang.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna make out, like, hard right now. And I'm like, okay, fuck you. You're just as bad as the rest of them then. Like,
he second guesses it for, like, a moment, which is kind of like, oh, maybe he's a little better than the rest, but, like, not really. I don't know.
I mean, I, too, would be ensnared in the trap of Megan Fox.
Yeah, I couldn't... Yeah, to be fair.
She would be like, you know, she could be like, oh, go... I would just do anything, you know? I get it. Like, just her...
I'd be in, like,
enchantress way.
Yeah, exactly.
I understand it. I relate to the young lads of this small town. What's it called? Devil's Creek? Devil's River?
No, Devil's...
But if you couldn't be more heavy-handed about the symbolism...
Tavern?
Their town is called Devil something.
I forget. I want to let you know that as much as I value you as a friend, and I really enjoy hosting this podcast with you, if you crawled into my house possessed at, like, in the wee hours of the night...
And I ate the fucking rotisserie chicken.
You ate the rotisserie chicken on the ground and then puked up black bile, I would leave you.
I'd be like, I'm blocked... not into your text or call. But that's literally is that Needy, the whole setup is that she's like, I'm a little scared. I think something's bad is gonna happen. And so she like looks around outside and she's like, tee must just be my imagination. And then fucking possessed ass fucking demonic Jennifrer is in the house, scampering around like a fucking demon, eating the
covered in blood.
And she dripping blood all over. And Needy's just like, oh, hey, bestie. How have you been? Like, literally, she seems so fucking
Not quite.
Not that she seems unbothered, but she's just kind of like, hey, I was getting worried about you.
She's like, I want to help you. No, but, like, I would be out of there in a second. I'm sorry.
No attempt was made. She wasn't like, you look hurt. Let me, like, go get a first aid kit. Or, like,
she said you looked hurt, but, like, she wasn't,
just talking to her. I jump into action. She was just like, hey, girlie, how have you been?
What happened?
Last I saw you were getting in that van. Like, you good?
At the very least, if I saw you dripping blood in my kitchen, like, I would get a first aid kit.
Call an ambulance. Like, by God. Yeah, she's just like, can we try to have a nice civil conversation? Like, can you tell me what's happening?
And then Jennifrer, like, roars at her.
Fucking vomits. I guess what they used was Hershey syrup, which is, like, basically black bile.
Which is what they used in Psycho.
Yeah, which it makes sense.
A fun little...
I guess they used that along with some, CGI effects type thing. But yeah, I guess very good cinematic substitute for discussing black bile or blood is Hershey syrup. But yeah, she just seemed like a little too unbothered by it for my taste.
Yeah, I would be tweaked.
Also, she like cleaned it all up afterwards. That is so unreasonable that you could leave it. And you could be like, hey mom, I know you just got home from the night shift, but some whack shit just happened, and I'm a little freaked the fuck out.
Why would you get rid of the proof?
Get some forensic professionals up in there to like take some sampling. I don't know.
She was just like, oh, I gotta clean it.
I gotta clean it. I gotta clean up after Jennifrer. That crazy
Jen.
Oh, you're always getting into it. Oh my God, the biggest jump scare in this whole fucking movie, though.
Chris Pratt.
Oh my God, you said to me, because I had never seen this movie before.
Yeah.
And,
which was a shock, by the way.
Yeah,
because it seems very up your alley.
I loved it. I guess it just never really popped up on my radar before. And I really do think I kind of fell into that, marketing craze of, like, I did think it was kind of like a hokey horror movie for guys. Yeah, like, oh, it's just gonna be Megan Fox being hot and, like, a slasher flick and, like, whatever. And I did know some of the, like, cult following and the gay stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it never really piqued my interest, but I really did enjoy it. But I didn't really see anything coming, and so you were like, oh, there's somebody's about to pop up and it's gonna knock your socks off, and it was fucking Chris Pratt playing a wannabe cop.
This is just the most on-brand thing for him.
Yeah, it's like he's, like, really gross and kind of, like, hits on Megan Fox for a little while and is just, like, kind of creepy, and then he's like, I'm gonna be a cop, and she's like, I don't fucking care, and that was the end of his presence.
He was really in his element, and you could tell.
Right? I've never seen him be more true.
I think he's called someone the F slur, so I was like, this is on-brand.
There is a lot of really outdated language used in this movie, like, they use the R word.
Yeah, it's pretty unsavory.
The F slur, and just like calling people like, oh, you take special ed classes, like stuff like that, like jokes like that just do not age well. And like I get that 2009 was earlier, but just like, come on, are you fucking kidding me? It just, I don't know, I'm not gonna say it left a bad taste in my mouth, but it did do that kind of cringy, like, ooh, this movie was made 10 plus years ago and did not have any sort of like good outlook.
It's really interesting too that at least for, like, the 2010s, this feels like one of those ones that has really gained a cult following, which I feel like a lot of, like, 2010 movies haven't gained so far. Like, it feels pretty, like...
new, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty recent in the future that I'm like, oh, it already has a cult following.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, cult classics, like, to me, are, like, the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Like, to find, like, a 2000s movie that has a cult following feels, like,
I think this movie
pretty interesting.
feels very 80s to me. I think that this movie
I can agree with you
is
there.
really, like, made in the style of a lot of those older cult classic movies, which is what I think it was going for initially. But it didn't land at the time.
No.
But, like, I think, you know, retroactively...
it's the whole marketing thing.
Yeah, the people looking back are like, oh, I see what they were trying to do here, and I get it. But it was even, like, her in the prom dress at the end, that bad 80s prom dress. This whole movie,
really Carrie vibes.
Yeah, this movie just has a very, like, nostalgic air about it. That
I think it's really smart, too. Like, there was a lot of, like, references to 80s stuff. Like,
and, like, tropey things that they were kind of, like, making fun of a little bit.
Yeah, I remember seeing, like, an Evil Dead poster, like, in the back of, like, Amanda Seyfried's room, and I was like, okay, this is really smart settings-wise, and, like, all the details. Like, I really like what they've done here. Because while it's not explicitly set, like, in that time period, it does give a good nod to, like, all the things that did inspire it, probably.
Yeah, I agree. I also like that in a roundabout way we can connect this to LGBT Pride Month because Megan Fox is a bisexual individual.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's very out and proud and open about it, and I think a lot of times she's done a lot of interviews where she's like, I am so viewed as a sex object and it fucking sucks. And she's
100%.
like, you know, it's helped me in my career and it's, you know, led me to places where it may not have.
But, like, being known as that?
But yeah, like, literally you're the Transformers girl who washes the car, like, you're given roles because
like, that
you're...
sucks.
Yeah, and she's like, you know, I just think I don't get a lot of merit for, like, the actual good stuff I've done. I'm just known as, like, the hot girl.
There's so much more substance to her, and I really like, speaking about, like, LGBT, like, aspects of her, I've seen a lot about, like, how she raises her kids in a way that's, like, very, like, non-binary. Like, she'll let, like, I think she has sons. And it's like, yeah, her sons are just out and about, like, in, like, tiaras and, like, dresses and things like that, and I fucking love that.
But I know I don't know if she, like, super publicly came out or if she just, like, mentioned it in an interview or whatever, but a lot of people...
no one has to publicly come out anymore.
Right. But so I guess she, like, faced some criticism, basically, because she has been publicly in a lot of heterosexual, quote-unquote, relationships, you know, and they're like, oh, like, you just want to enhance your status as a sex symbol.
No.
Like, you want to just appeal to more masses. And that's, like, just fucking disgusting. And I just, like... I hate
those people that give, like, bisexual people flack for, like, dating.
Right? It's 50-50.
Yeah.
50% of them are gonna be the other way. Yeah. Like, I don't know.
I don't even want to say 50-50. I feel like a lot of people have their preferences.
But I mean, the population.
Like, yeah. But, like, it sucks. It sucks that, like...
Yeah, especially bisexual people in heterosexual relationships who kind of, it gets, like, invalidated.
Yeah. I know a lot of people feel, like, almost, like, imposter syndrome, sort of, in that way, when, like, in a bisexual,
But I definitely, I encourage you to go kind of look at some of the interviews she's done, because she's so well spoken. She seems really cool. I don't know much about her as an individual.
Yeah. I haven't seen a lot of her movies, but
other than pretty recently, her and Machine Gun Kelly have really been killing it on the runway with his black tongue and her fucking. Did you see he like painted his tongue black? And she wore this like really fucking sexy dress, and they were like tongue kissing, and I was like, oh my god, she's sucking the life out of him. Like, everyone's like, she's back on her shit. She's killing those boys.
Exactly. He really looks like kind of. There's just that one photo where he looks like he's sweating.
Yeah, he looks very gaunt.
Oh my god, he's dying in front of us.
I love the scene in the movie where Amanda Seyfried says that she I wrote down that this boy looked skinny, twisted, and evil like a petrified tree. She was describing the main character.
Do you think she writes poetry?
She's describing the lead singer of the band, what's his name, Adam Brody.
Yeah.
His character or whatever, and she's like, oh, that's how I know like Jenniffer's gonna be into him. He's like twisty and evil, and he looks like a petrified tree. And honestly, that sounds like me trying to justify my attraction to Timothée Chalamet. I'm like, no, he looks like a sick Victorian child. Like, you don't get it. Like, he kind of looks like a marionette. Like, I just want to feed him soup, you know?
I just want to nurse him back to health.
Yeah, he just, like, looks like a petrified tree. Do you get it?
Oh my god.
But there's like this scene, so basically Megan Fox is really into this band, and she's like, I checked them out on MySpace, and the lead singer seems really salty, which I was like, oh my god, what like outdated lingo that just like has aged in the complete opposite direction, because now we all say salty like to mean like you're fucking pissed.
And even salty is outdated for us.
Yeah, right, to call somebody salty, but like I guess salty means hot, I guess.
Yeah.
But she was, like, really into this band, and where was I going with this?
Take your time.
Oh, she's like, I really wish that more guys in this small town had style like him. And basically, he's just, like...
in black skinny jeans?
He's, like, in black skinny jeans, and he, like, looks like Pete Wentz. Like,
yeah.
And was, like, wearing guy liner. Mm-hmm. But then, literally, a fucking guy in their school... with a lip piercing and guy liner on, asks her out on a date, and she's like, ew. She's like, ew, you're fucking weird. Mm-hmm. You're a weirdo. That guy is so weird. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, you literally described, you're like, I wish more guys around here wore guy liner, and then one shows up, and she's like, ugh. I felt bad for that character. I think he was the boy I had the most sympathy for, I think.
Yeah, oh my god. When they showed his, like, corpse and he's holding on to rosary beads, like, after he's been killed, I was like, jeez.
But he just, like, seemed kind of nice. I did, like, I don't understand, I mean, I do understand the draw of Megan Fox. Like, I get it. But also, like, when you're in high school, you just know when people are mean. Yeah. Like, hot people who are mean, like, don't waste your time.
No, I wouldn't say...
He should have gone after Needy. They had so much in common.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that's necessarily true, like, you know, like, you know
she
what I mean?
She was a fucking bitch to his face. She was like, get the fuck out of here and she was like, oh, give me your pitch.
Do you not remember? On a date? I don't know, like, at least...
That's true, I loved it when boys were mean to me. Actually, you know what, you're right. I take it back. I get it.
Like, you're very naive in high school. Like, it's one of those things where... you would like to think that you were smarter back then, I think, and even I think the same thing, but I'm like, no, I was an idiot.
That's true.
Like, you can it's really easy to, like, fall into that sort of, I don't want to say trap, but, like, that sort of... just,
like, he's supposedly, like, the weird, kind of gothy, emo, nerdy kid, and, like, you're just gonna flat out ask the head cheerleader, most popular girl in school.
That's really bold of him, and I respect that.
That is true. I was like, oh, you and Needy seem to have something kind of cute. I kind of wish they... because I didn't dislike... What was Needy's boyfriend's name?
Chip.
Needy and Chip, I hate it.
Chip. But here's the thing, because
it was very realistic, it was very sweet, it was very innocent.
Yeah, we've put this in our, during Pride Month, but also, like, I wasn't mad at the heterosexual relationship. I felt pretty bad for Chip, as stupid as he was.
At the end there, when he was kind of like, oh, you told, like, I don't trust you within an inch of my life, but I am gonna trust you that my girlfriend who I love betrayed me, and now I'm gonna make out with you. Even after, literally, Amanda Seyfried was like, hey, I think my best friend is a demon who's gonna eat boys. And he's like, you're crazy. Go to a psychiatrist. And then she comes up to you and is like, Needy fucking cheats on you. Also, do you want to make out in this abandoned pool house? Like, fuck you, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, you kind of deserved it at that point. But I did like, up until that point, their relationship was kind of cute. But he was very, like, I'm not gonna say he was also gaslighty towards her, but sometimes she would express her, like, feelings, and he would be like, you're kind of off the rails. You know, or he'd be like, I don't support your friendship with, which was valid, you know, but Jennifrer was kind of a piece of shit, but, like, you gotta, I don't know, you gotta be supportive. You can't just be constantly critical.
Yeah, no, Needy doesn't have a lot of, like, really good people surrounding her, honestly. She's got Chip, who is, like, kind of good to her, but also, like you said, a little gaslighty, and then she's got...
well, like, cares enough, you know, to, like, make her feel loved and wanted.
And then she's got Jennifrer, who I'm sure at a certain point did care for her and everything like that, and maybe, like, in a certain place does still care for her. Because at one point she's like, yeah, I couldn't bring myself to eat you.
Well, so, like, I thought the implication there was because her blood was inside Needy. Because they had that whole flashback where, as a child, she sucked the blood out of her cut. And I think she does. I
think she does genuinely care for her to a degree. But, like, she's got, like, Chip, who's fine, but not great, and then she's got
like,
Jennifrer.
In high school, so.
Yeah, it's to be expected. And then she's got Jennifrer, who is Jennifrer, gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss.
And then her mom, who works some sort of very intense job.
Yeah,
where she's
late night, like she's never around.
So, AKA Amy Sedaris. What, like, that was another, I was like, what the fuck? Is that Amy Sedaris? Who, like, she's in literally one scene. But it's so weird. But I love that actor who plays Chip.
It's young Neil. It's just young Neil.
He plays the exact fucking same character in everything, and I loved it.
What else has he been in?
So he's in, obviously, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. He plays young Neil, and then in this movie, tell me there's any difference.
No, right? he's literally the same guy. He's a little more vocal, I suppose, because young Neil doesn't exactly talk much in Scott Pilgrim.
Do you remember him in Perks of Being a Wallflower? He plays kind of like a side character. And
a little bit, yeah. Definitely a similar character.
Yeah, I think he, like, dates, I don't know. There's, like, a romantic entanglement. He's basically in the friend group, though.
Yeah.
For Perks of Being a Wallflower. And he'll just, like, pop up here and there in movies. And he is literally that guy, like, with that same fucking haircut every single time. And I really just like that for him. And I am not bothered by, like, the tropey casting, the one-note thing. Because I'm like, we need more boring men in movies. we need more, like, lifeless, boring men.
Yeah, we need someone to, like, stack some, like, great female characters on top of.
Because who stood on the shoulders of young Neil? Knives Chow.
Yeah.
Who stood on the shoulders of Chip? Fucking needy. So, we just need more men like him to be in films, to just provide a blank slate and a platform.
You know who kind of reminds me of him? I can't remember his name, but he's the guy that's in, he plays a Nazi in, like, every single movie that needs a Nazi. He was in Inglourious Bastards.
David, no.
God, I can't remember his name, and I know I won't be able to say it when I get it. Daniel Bruhl?
Oh my god, Jen, you will not believe that I literally just texted you and I said Chalky or Vanilli.
I brought Henry.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh my god, we love to see it. So we're going to do our interim...
Come here, sneak towards the mic.
Thematic. Sometimes we do this on the pod. My lovely mother.
Sometimes we do it every time.
Oh yeah, we do it almost every time.
Does it pick up from over here? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah. It's actually from the front.
Do you think this is okay?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
If everyone speaks from their chest, we should be able to hear them. But so here on the pod, sometimes we do a segment called Chocolate or Vanilla.
You smell like what you're cooking, and it smells great.
Thanks.
Oh my god, the kitchen smells
so
good.
For all the all the audio listeners out there.
That's all of them.
Oh, you don't have a video section of your podcast?
Oh
We're working on it.
So there's.
I don't want that. I'm not cute. I don't want people to look at me.
There's chicken thighs. They're slowly simmering in peppers, onions, and several different what I've decided is a Cuban spice mixture.
Oh fuck.
Cumin or Cuban?
Cuban.
Both.
Yes.
All of the above.
And Dad is making scallops wrapped in bacon.
Gary, in his constant attempt to one-up me culinarily, is making scallops wrapped in bacon.
If I had $1 for every time Gary made scallops in our house, I would be able to move out.
No,
because
he's done it at least one time while we recorded.
Yeah,
before.
It's constant.
They were decent. Bacon could have been a little crispier.
Don't say anything to him.
Gary, if you're listening, take this as a critique.
This is the test to see if Gary's listening.
No, we've done this before. We've said, let's talk
podcast.
shit about our dads on the podcast to see if they listen, and then they don't. So I know for a fact.
I won't talk shit about my dad on this podcast. I'm too scared.
You're safe this time.
I'm nervous.
But Chocolate or Vanilla is a game by Jen's invention.
Yes,
Pretty much.
I made it up in my head.
Basically,
She created chocolate.
It was always really good for long car rides, and basically, she will present us with two options of usually some sort of similar theme, and you have to pick which one you like better. So, example, chocolate or vanilla.
Right. So wait, I have two though, because you guys didn't do the one during Birds of Prey.
I know, so we might as well just put in the extra.
Double. Let's do a double.
Let's
do a double.
So this one has no theme.
Okay.
It is random.
Okay.
Okay. Chocolate. Oh, in order, we're gonna go Henry, Emily, Dara, me.
Okay.
Great.
A lot of pressure. Okay.
Just because
starting
that's
us off.
guys. That's, chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Vanilla.
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Heat miser or cold miser?
Wait, Snow Miser?
Yeah, Cold Miser.
No.
Heat Miser. Heat Miser.
Snow Miser.
Heat Miser's
No,
the hot
I'm
guy.
Mr. Cold Miser.
His name is not Cold Miser.
Mr. Snow Miser.
Whatever I touch.
Is that the heat? No, that's Heat Miser.
No,
I'm Mr. Snow Miser.
Oh,
And it's the same song. They just sing it with different words.
Right.
I'm a Heat Miser.
Heat
kind
Miser
of guy.
or Snow Miser?
Heat Miser.
Wait, maybe his name is Cold Miser.
Okay, yeah. Who do you think you're talking to right now?
Fuck.
Questioning.
Are you
oh my
serious? He's
God.
Cold Miser?
That's
no.
fucked. I really thought it was.
Because you guys were
Did
not
we
even
Mandela
born.
I'm Mr. Snow Miser. No, he says
We're
Snow
not
Miser.
born when that movie came out, and I was born.
I've been there. Oh my god.
Well,
Jeez,
shit.
okay.
Okay, Mandela.
Fair
effect.
enough. Okay, you said Heat Miser?
Yeah, Heat Miser.
Snow Miser. Or Cold Miser.
I'm gonna go with Heat Miser because I like his haircut.
Yes, I was gonna say the same thing. Heat Miser. Rooney Mara or Kate Mara?
Kate.
Rooney.
Kate, just because she's not married to Joaquin Phoenix.
Kate.
I like her husband better. I like Jamie Bell more than I like. I'm just gonna judge women solely based on who they're married to. That's just my thing, I guess.
That's because that's how you want to be judged.
I'm anti. Right? Yeah, truly.
Just so that nobody comes for me online, I don't know either of those people. So let's
Oh
continue.
no! Did you watch?
Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, did you watch Brokeback Mountain?
I don't know. I
Did
couldn't
you,
tell the
watch-
Girl with the dragon tattoo?
Is she
No,
the
we've
lead?
never seen
That's
that one.
Rooney. Yeah.
Yes, Rooney.
The lead
Mara.
is Rooney.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then Kate is
great.
from what's the show?
The show with
that
Kevin Spacey.
House of Cards.
House of Cards.
Cards.
Did you watch House of Cards? No. They're both really great
Watch
actresses.
The Martian.
We're just listing movies at this point. They're both great. They're sisters. They're both really great actresses.
Yeah, no.
They're both married to also great actors, and I'm just judging them completely based on that because I am not a feminist.
And I will defend Kate to the day I die.
Come on, you're not gonna choose Rooney Mara during Pride Month from
Well,
Carol?
It's because I don't like Carol. That's she's so boring in that movie. What she takes photos. Yeah, you and everyone else.
I didn't know I just made a choice.
I've got like that same camera.
Yeah.
I feel really seen. Okay.
Oh, who did you say there?
Oh, I said Kate because
I'll
I
say
like
Kate.
Jamie Bell better.
Because you're a follower.
Who'd you say?
I said Kate. I love
Okay.
Kate. Elf or Grinch?
Wait, which Grinch? The original
The
one?
Elf or the Grinch, like
Oh, wait, just as characters, not as,
As movies. As movies.
Oh, yeah.
the
so-
live action Grinch
Jim
starring
Carrey?
Jim Carrey. Yeah,
Woo.
I can't believe you even have to think about.
No,
this.
I mean, Elf. I think Elf, but you just reminded me that that movie existed.
Nah. I'm gonna go with Grinch.
Grinch.
I like Elf.
I'm gonna get a tattoo of Max the dog. 'Cause my
Yes.
dog is named after Max.
right?
Yeah.
So good. Also, just I think one of Jim Carrey's best roles.
Okay, have you seen The Mask?
Okay,
Yeah.
wait, but Jim
That's-
Carrey had to go through like military training to be in that film because of like how stressful it was to be in the costume and all that stuff. He fully had to have like a SEAL team guy like coaching him through the whole thing. So for that, the Grinch.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I surrender my answer. You are correct.
Groundhog Day or What About Bob?
What about Bob?
Groundhog Day.
Wow. Do you not have a dad?
Yeah.
What about Bob? If your
must
dad,
not
My dad's name is Bob.
if your dad didn't sit you down and make you watch What About Bob on VHS tape at age 8,
No.
then
Listen, here's the thing: is I've never seen it, so
it's great.
Bob did not have me watch What About Bob.
Would have been too real.
Too real, yeah, too personal.
I would also say What About Bob? Cinderella or Snow White?
Snow White.
Snow White.
I think Cinderella has better style, so I'm gonna say Cindy.
I'm gonna go with Cinderella too. Daphne or Velma?
Velma.
Velma.
This is hard because Daphne is who I want to be, but Velma is who I am. And so,
Just think about Velma in the full latex bodysuit.
yes, oh my
so,
god. But like fashion icon, who I strive to be is Daphne Blake. But who I am true to my core, people have asked me, are you in a Halloween costume right now? And the answer is no. I'm just wearing an orange turtleneck and brown corduroys, and I happen to have that haircut and I wear glasses, which are somehow lost on the floor right now. I just am Velma. I can't help it. So I have to say Velma.
Wait, did you say her last name is Blake?
Daphne Blake. That's
How
her.
did you know that?
That's a solid
That's
piece
good
of trivia.
trivia, yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Well done.
Does Velma have a last name?
Yeah, I'm sure she does. I don't know it though.
That's it, you can tell
I would
which,
also say Velma.
That's how you know which
Yeah.
one is the icon. You know, it's a firsty lasty.
those boots. It's those boots.
Yeah, for real.
I own those boots. I want to be Daphne, but I'm just not.
You'll get there. You're working your way there.
So Fred Jones. Fred Jones is Fred
Yeah,
Jones.
okay.
Daphne Blake. Oh, Velma Dinkley.
Mhm.
Right? That
That
makes
makes
That
sense.
makes sense, yeah.
And then
That adds up.
Shaggy's name, though, like, his
It's
name is...
Norbert.
Yeah, his name is Norbert, but they call him Shaggy, and his last name is Rogers.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And that's...
Isn't Scooby-Doo's name Scoobert Doobert?
Scoobert Doobert.
The Accountant or The Martian?
The Accountant.
I haven't seen the full Accountant, so I'm gonna say The Martian because I have seen the full film.
How dare you pick a Ben Affleck movie on this fucking podcast? You're gonna sit here and look me in the eyes and tell me that you liked The Accountant?
I liked The Accountant. And for all the audio listeners, just audio and the people who aren't getting the video feed,
There's no video feed!
I did make eye contact with Dara for that. So you guys know.
Ah,
You're about to marry this man. Dude.
ah.
Okay, but to
Can
be
I say-
fair,
good
what,
taste.
I'm gonna say The Martian because A, I don't like Ben Affleck, and B, I had just had my tonsils taken out and I was not feeling my hottest. And Jen said, "Do you know what will make you feel better? This really great movie about a neurodivergent accountant." Played by your favorite, Ben Affleck. And she put the movie on, and I had never felt worse in my life.
That story is not true.
You did! I had no tonsils, and I was trying to sip soup. I was trying to sip on soup, and you said, "Let me put on this movie that I really liked." And I hated it.
Oh my god. Wait, but who stars in The Martian though?
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon, who isn't any better!
I was gonna say, you can't sit here and belittle Henry for liking Ben Affleck when Matt Damon is essentially the same man.
Do you know who's in The Martian, though?
Kate Mara.
Whoa! Full circle with
Kate
the
Mara.
stupid vanilla.
But also, Donald Glover is in The Martian.
Yes?
I have to give it a
And
crumb.
Bucky from Captain America.
I gotta be
Yeah,
honest.
Sebastian
I
Stan-
haven't
he's
seen
okay.
either of those movies.
He was like, yeah, accountant.
You're stirring the pot. Okay.
Okay, I would say Martian. Wizard of Oz or The Wiz?
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
The Wiz.
Wizard of Oz. Sound of Metal or Sound of Music?
The Sound of Music.
The heels are alive.
I like
the
Sound of Metal, but like, come on, like that's like it's like saying like Michael Jordan versus like I don't know, some other basketball player from now that isn't LeBron James, right? Like it's like
Steph Curry.
no,
Not even.
because he's a legend in his own right. Be like Michael Jordan versus some bench player for like the Knicks or something, you know?
So I'm gonna go with Space Jam.
I'm like gritting my teeth trying to figure out which one I prefer.
Oh.
Of course,
Oh, you poor bastard.
I'm. Listen, the
Say
drummer
it.
in me
Sound of
really.
Metal was so good. So
It was
you can say it.
outstanding.
I'll fucking say it. I've never seen The Sound of Music all the way through, so I'll fucking pick Sound of Metal.
Whoa!
It's outstanding. I will give it to Sound of Music. It's great, and I do love.
I know they
Julie
have
Andrews.
the songs. I know that there's a children.
I'm gonna go with Sound of Music, but Sound of Metal is just scraping under it.
I will say Sound of Metal, but
Wow,
You're-
brave.
and
Jen, very brave.
you made me look like a bad mom because like I didn't make you watch Sound of Music all the way through.
Yeah, you're gonna do that? Oh my god.
My
You
mom,
did-
my
you-
mom did do that with me.
My
You
mom
did
also did that
take
with
me
me.
to the movie theater and make me watch fucking Gone with the Wind for 6.5 goddamn hours.
Yeah, see, my mom didn't have me do that.
The Hangover or Bridesmaids?
The Hangover.
Bridesmaids.
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 Fair enough.
All right, now the
Part
next
two.
one, part two, for this
Is there a
for
theme?
Jennifer's body
Yes.
is yes, there is a theme.
Okay.
We love a theme.
Oh, okay. So I was gonna do all Jennifer's, but then I was like, wait.
There's a lot to work with.
There's 1 Dara, 2 Henrys, 3 Emilys, and 4 Jennifers in this.
So she went by popularity of name.
Oh.
Just to reiterate,
okay.
Dara, very unpopular name, but the three of you, I would say, have very popular names.
My name was like the most popular name,
Yeah.
like in the year I was born.
Ditto.
So,
Mine
yeah.
too. from my
Henry's
year.
pretty. I would say
I feel pretty
No,
bland
no,
about
okay,
it.
that's what
Emily
it is.
Ann, jeez.
That's why.
Jennifer Ann.
Yeah, tough. Hey,
So, I think that the reason people think that I'm 40, right?
because you have the name of a 40-year-old man.
Exactly. My name was the most popular baby name like 40 years ago. You know?
Oh yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so for fun fact out there, for any Henry stands out there, I don't think there are many.
Nah,
but-
shout out to that one dude from Ohio who I'm sure is out there.
We have-
Jack from Ohio. I know you're listening. I'm throwing one in the dark,
All
to
right.
be honest.
You're just going for another general name. You're like, yeah, this should stick.
That's my homie Jack from
Shout out,
Ohio.
shout out to all the Lyns out there.
I stick by this. If there's a Jack from Ohio listening, hit me up. We'll hang out sometime.
But Henry is the fourth, so Henry's uncle, grandpa, and great-grandpa are all named Henry, so Henry does have a statistically outdated name.
Correct.
I don't know any people our age named Henry other than you.
I've met a couple
same.
of other fellow middle-aged men named Henry, but yeah.
You are
No
not
one my age.
middle-aged. You are also the same age as us.
Ah.
Spiritually, you're 50.
Age is like a social construct,
Yeah, okay.
So you did this based off of names?
Yes.
Okay,
I'll
I
start
like this.
Dara. Dara Torres or K-pop Dara?
Okay, so I have to explain.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So as somebody with a very unpopular name, I have very few celebrity, connections. And so Dara Torres is an Olympic swimmer from America. And the one cool thing about her basically is that she was a little bit older than like the average Olympic contestant. Or just like, Olympians are typically in their 20s or early 30s,
20s, early 30s.
like that's when you're in your physical prime. But she was like a little past that date. And so she was doing her swimming thing and somebody else, one of her opponents, their swimsuit ripped, which I guess is a big deal because the resistance it will cause will like basically you can't fucking win. And so she noticed it and she stopped everything and she was like, hey, like we need to start over basically because this girl's swimsuit ripped and like that's not cool. And then basically after that everyone was like, oh, she seems kind of nice. She, instead of putting down her opponent thinking that it would, progress her success, she, called it out and made everybody start over. And that was
sick.
And that was really nice of her. So that's
great.
Dara Torres. And then Dara is from
South Korea?
her name is it's something like Dara is a nickname.
It's like
Lindara or
Yes,
something
exactly.
like that. I don't know, but she's from the K-pop band 2NE1.
Oh, yeah, no,
which is basically like the most popular K-pop band as far as my knowledge goes. Like when
Not
we were
Blackpink?
no, well, when we were in like middle school.
Oh, like
when,
from a young age?
yeah, when
Yeah,
we
yeah.
were young, when people who were into K-pop, like that was the big one when we were like of that age group. And so she's just in that group. I don't really know much about her other than when you Google the name Dara, she's basically all that comes up.
And
so Olympic swimmer or K-pop?
Olympic swimmer.
Olympic swimmer, that's really cool
Yeah,
of her.
Olympic
That's
swimmer.
pretty
I think K-pop the industry's kind of fucked.
Yep, I'll go Olympic swimmer too.
And anyways, that's my speech on people who share my name with me. If your name is Dara out there, hit me up. I'll give you free merch straight up.
Dara from Oklahoma.
Dara from Texas. I've never at the gift shops. You know how you can like get all the things with your name,
never.
like a shot glass or like a license plate. Like literally never in my life, but that's okay.
Remember though, I met a Dara and she illustrated kids' books.
Yes,
And she signed one for you when you were little.
That's so
Yeah.
cute.
That's very cool.
it's few and far between. But when you meet somebody, it's like a connection. You know, you're like, oh my god, we both have the name that nobody has. Nice.
Okay, Henry Cavill or Henry VIII?
Whoa.
Oh my god.
I like that you have to think about this.
Why do you have to think?
Henry VIII is such a cool guy. Henry VIII, of course, right? Like, come on.
Yeah, he got...
He fucking murdered people.
He's a cool guy. He did a lot of. He's done more shit than I have. He's a cool guy.
I was gonna say Henry Cavill.
You know that one scene from The Witcher where Henry Cavill is sweaty and dirty in a bathtub?
I've seen it.
Henry VIII could never.
He had 8 wives. I don't know. That's something.
Henry Cavill could have
8 wives?
hundreds of wives if he's
6.
so
Sorry,
pleased.
I just get my numbers confused.
Anyways.
I thought they named him after the number of wives.
6 wives, 8th king. We talked about Henry VIII on our last episode. Yeah.
Because of how great he is.
Tell me you say Henry
Especially in
Cavill.
comparison.
Oh, Cavill.
Yeah, okay, thank God.
Henry Fonda or Henry Winkler?
Henry Winkler.
Winkler.
Winkler. The
I've got a
Fonz.
record of the Fonz on my wall.
We love Henry Winkler in this house.
The man.
Everything he's in is blessed.
Yes.
Okay, now on to Emily's. Emily Blunt or Emily Ratajkowski?
Ratajkowski. You know, she's Ben Affleck's side chick piece girlfriend from Gone Girl. She's a model, but she dabbles in acting.
You really picked her over Emily Blunt?
No,
Yeah,
I'm
she was
explaining
just
to you.
pronouncing
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
Oh, I thought you were like, who is
no,
that?
I know who. No,
I would never. Emily Blunt all the way.
Yeah, Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt.
Oh, Emily Blunt. Emily Dickinson or Emily Bronte?
You want to start?
I guess. Bronte.
Dickinson.
Dickinson, she was a bit of a lesbian, and it is Pride Month,
Yes.
I'll say
Oh, that's the second time I've chose wrong.
folks.
There is no wrong.
Okay.
Chocolate vanilla. Emily Osment or Emma Watson?
Emma. Wait, which one's
Hermione
Emma? Which one's
or-
Emma Watson?
Or Hannah
Dude,
Montana's best friend?
Hey, fun fact. Emma Stone is actually Emily Stone.
Oh.
nice.
Yeah.
I
She had to
believe
change her name because someone else had like Emily Stone already taken. So she's like, I guess I'll just
Oh, I
go
should've
with
done
Emma.
her.
Emily
That's like,
Stone kinda
Anne
sounds
Hathaway?
pretentious.
Hey, guess where I learned that? Graham Norton.
Yeah. Oh,
The greatest show ever made.
Graham Norton or literally any other talk show host. Fucking Graham Norton.
Help me out though. Which one's Emily Watson?
Emily
Emily
Osment
Osment.
is
Hannah
Hannah
Montana.
Montana's best friend.
not-
And she was also in the
Oh.
movie Cyberbully where she tries to kill herself but she can't get the bottle of Tylenol.
It's a bit of a meme at this point.
All right. Yeah, I'd have to go with. Wait, sorry.
Emma Watson.
Yeah, Emma Watson. Yes.
Watson.
Yeah, I guess Watson.
I'm gonna pick Emily Osment. I love
Good
her.
for you.
All right, hit us with the Jennifers.
Okay, here comes some Jennifers. J-Law or J-Lo?
J Lo.
J Law.
J Lo.
J-Law.
Thank you.
Whoa.
I feel seen.
All right.
Even though she's back together with Ben Affleck, which is not my cup of tea, I still support this MILF.
No, I think she's back together with,
She's back together with Ben,
Ben
Affleck.
Affleck. Yeah.
no, what's the other guy's name? The first
A-Rod?
guy. Nope, the other guy.
Oh, her and A-Rod broke
No,
up.
it's her and Ben
Her
Affleck.
and Ben
The
Affleck.
original guy.
W-
The original guy. Who?
Is he an actor?
He's a musician.
Band or a solo guy?
Did he?
No.
Where did you see
God, I
Diddy?
can't believe it.
I have no, clearly you are out of the loop.
Mark Wahlberg.
Marky Mark? Like, what do you...
Whatever.
Clearly you are not
She's
up to
definitely- no,
date. She is
yeah.
back in the loop
Yeah,
with
she's
Ben
with Ben
Affleck. Ben
Affleck.
Affleck.
He's wearing the same bracelet she got him from like 20 years ago?
Yeah, oh yeah, they've been seen together in public many a time. He dumped Ana de Armas and she dumped A-Rod, and now they're back together as if it were 2006 again.
Yeah, really. People are going crazy.
In a lot of ways, it is.
Jennifer Aniston or Jennifer Garner?
Jennifer Garner.
Aniston.
Garner.
Garner. Jennifer Hudson or Jennifer Coolidge?
Coolidge from 3.
Coolidge, no doubt.
And I'm taking the dog. We love Jennifer Coolidge in this house.
Jenny
Gotta
McCarthy
stand.
or Jenna Fisher?
Ooh, Jenny McCarthy.
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 Come on.
Even though I love Pam. But,
Yeah.
Of course.
that is it.
Wow,
That was
thanks,
a great
Jen.
Hell of
round.
a
This
list.
is probably my favorite round
you
we've
so
done.
much.
You always say that. You're so nice to me.
You've always got like really solid
always-
lineups.
you're
What
always
can I
improving
say?
your craft.
You had a real thinker last time. I really had to sit with it.
I also, I don't know many celebrities, so a lot of times I'm just like, that first one kind of had a name that I knew how to pronounce, so, squeeze it in.
It's like, yeah, I'll go with that.
You're embracing the rules. You have to pick one, no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah, you fake it till you make it, you know? Say strong, what is it? Strong and wrong.
Yeah. Please let us know if you ever play chocolate or vanilla in your car
It's
rides.
so fun.
Or,
Yeah, it's
like,
so fun, especially long car ride. If you're with
Yeah.
people, just off the dome, even just go in a circle. You each come up with one. They're so easy and so fun. And then they spark debate. They're like, "What the fuck do you
right?
mean you picked Ben Affleck?"
Right?
You know?
Like if you're just having some wine with your roommates or your friends sometime,
or
like,
even unprompted, just out of nowhere, be like, "Hey, what do you guys think? Jennifer Garner or Jennifer Coolidge?"
and if they say Jennifer Garner, they're wrong. It's always Jennifer Coolidge.
And you should feel bad.
You should bully people for their opinions. That's my stance on this podcast.
And what did we learn today?
Jennifer Coolidge over everyone. That's my.
This is true.
Everyone you said during that whole list.
Just top tier Aunt Fanny.
Ugh.
Come on.
Well, thank you,
right.
Jen. We
You're welcome.
appreciate
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sparking some insightful conversation.
Yeah, this is a great
Thanks for
lineup. Thank
having
you.
me.
And if you, honestly, I want to be bullied too. If you fucking thought my opinions were garbage, slide into our DMs and say, Dara, I love Ben Affleck more than anything in this life.
And then we'll block you.
Well, that's not true. That's not true. But just please at least provide some sort of sound argument because
Yeah.
I'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear. I get it. I like The Town. It's a good movie. somebody who wasn't in this movie was Ben Affleck, but guess who is? Megan Fox.
She is the titular role.
Yes.
I gotta give it to her. She's got the best. Of course, she's gonna have the best line. She is Jennifrer.
Yeah.
In Jennifer's body. Some of my favorite ones included my tit. When she literally got stabbed.
And she's like, Amanda Seyfried's like, I think that's your heart.
Yeah, right. I'm going to eat your soul and shit it out, Les Nikki. That was a good one.
Yes.
We can play boyfriend girlfriend like we used to.
Yeah,
which really drove home like the sort of like backbone queerness of this film.
So like if you want to get into it a little bit, honestly, so I would say that this film is a little queer-coded at best. It doesn't really have a lot of substance to its LGBT narrative that it pushes, but there is certainly a deep sense of love between the two main characters. Yeah. Whether you want to regard that as friendship love or something else, I think it's really left to be up to interpretation.
I feel like it kind of
wavers.
Intersects.
Yeah, for sure. And especially because it was 2009, and I do think that making this straight up a lesbian film would not have like been nearly as successful.
I think it probably would have had a harder time in the box office.
Which, like, clearly it did anyways.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't what people thought it was going to be. But in everything these two characters do, they constantly have the other person in mind. Literally, while fucking Needy is losing her virginity to young Neil.
No, I don't know that they're losing their virginity. He said, I got more condoms.
Okay, so maybe it's
which
like,
was one of the more,
unaddressed topics, yeah.
Not unaddressed, but
like a vague. I don't know. We don't really know.
I would call it
realistic.
Unrealistic. The fact that like Needy and young Neil are like fucking throughout
That's so realistic, bro. Are you kidding?
I don't know.
They seem like they've been dating for a while. He's in band. She's kind of nerdy. Of course they're gonna bang.
They seem too nervous.
No,
they seem too nervous.
They're gonna bang.
That's true. We were band kids in high school, and everyone was
fucking. So I don't think that's entirely unrealistic to portray high school kids having awkward sex.
No. I think you're right, but it was one of those things I'm like, oh, wow, because I feel like a lot of films are like, oh, yeah, they haven't fucked yet. This is like the first time kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I guess.
And it's like, oh, they've been smashing.
I don't really know how I interpreted that. Because he was like, oh, are you hurt? Is it okay? That was kind of indicating, like, first-time vibes to me. But I guess also maybe it could have just been, like, they are both awkward high school kids.
Needy was literally just seeing Jennifrer kill someone while she was smashing.
She constantly has Jennifrer on their mind. And even in the beginning of the film, like, he's like, oh, you're really gonna blow me off to hang out with Jennifrer? And she's like,
yeah.
She's like, yeah, like, you know how it is. Like, she's my best friend. And he's like, why are you even friends with her? And she's like, we have so many things in common. And
he's like, you literally don't.
They're even, like, much more physically intimate than friends are, in my opinion. They hold hands. They kind of, like, push each other a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, it's and again, like that line you said, like, oh, let's play boyfriend and girlfriend like we used to. Like, clearly between these two characters, there's a level of physical intimacy which is much closer than most friends can say. Yeah. At least in my opinion. Like, I don't know.
Like, I myself as a queer woman feel very like I don't like do that with friends, but like also like a lot of like my straight friends will like just like my straight girlfriends will just like make out with each other. And I'm like, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
But, like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know if it's, like, that's just a thing that, like, straight people do. Yeah. But, like, you know what I mean? Which, like, if you're, I guess, leaning on, like, the straight vibe, you're more prone to, like, be fine with intimacy with, like, your other, like, girlfriends, you know what I mean? But I feel like a lot of, like, queer women, or I feel like probably queer people in general, are far more reserved in, like,
because you don't want to come up, you don't want like, to like, have somebody take it the wrong way. Like, all of a sudden it's a whole thing. And,
and it's like, no, that's not what I meant.
Well, no, that's, like, constantly, like, you having to put up a front, or like at least, like, defense mechanisms where you don't want people to, like, take anything you do the wrong way because they can automatically use that part of you as, like, weaponized against you.
Exactly.
Yeah. But even in this film, I, like, began to wonder if this whole big kiss scene between them, because basically Jennifrer comes to Needy and she's like, hey, like, I just want to, like, vibe out and just tell you, like, what the fuck has been happening. Like, I am a demon and I just want to, like, be truthful.
Yeah, only took her, like, 2 months.
But basically in that scene, they just start making out.
Yeah.
Like, they just start kissing, and then it, like, kind of gets into it for a while, but then all of a sudden Needy is like, whoa, what's happening? And then Jenniffer's like, I just came over here to tell you what's going on.
Yeah.
And then it, like, isn't really addressed again, but, like, it happens, and I almost was like, is this, like, I'm gonna say, like, you know, using these two really hot actresses, and we're gonna have this kissing scene to, like, draw in straight people, but I think because of the whole, like, actual vibe of the whole film, I do think it was intentional, and I don't think it was used to, like, bait young men into, like, jacking off.
Because what I read about,
way.
like, was, I screenshotted, hold on. One of the things that the director said, hold on. She said, she kept sort of reminding everybody, guys, we can't market this movie to boys, and then have them go to the theater expecting one thing and seeing Megan Fox not really taking her clothes off, but rip a guy's intestines out and eat them. So I really don't think it was intended in that way to, like...
It's so unfortunate,
for
because that's
guys.
exactly what happened, though.
Exactly. It wasn't intended for guys, but the way that Fox did it was like, oh, no, we're gonna play off the whole...
Sexy, yeah.
Yeah, Megan Fox in her bikini type thing, which is unfortunate. So, no, I don't think it was for guys in that way. I think that, honestly, the way they did it was, I don't want to say thoughtful, but I don't think it was intended in that way.
I would love to see, like, not that I really approve of movie reboots because it's kind of lame and overdone and usually not very successful, but
if they could reboot it with the exact same cast.
Right, like the same cast,
You know what I mean?
But just, or, like, have it be set in college or something to have it be more age appropriate, like, literally not even, but I just think that because of the time, because it was 2009, they probably didn't go all the way, and they were just trying to do too much at once, so they probably cut this out, but the whole, like, I think the friends who are secretly in love with each other are just, like, have that deep type of friendship love that they don't really attribute to being romantic love because of, like, heteronormativity sort of thing. Like, even at one point in the movie, somebody asked, like, oh, are you guys lesbi gay for each other?
Yeah.
Which is like, fucking yeah, I would be too for Megan Fox, you know?
One of my favorite things was, I remember seeing... probably like years ago, this interview with of Amanda Seyfried talking about the film, and she was like, yeah, me and Megan just had like this similar kissing style.
So it worked out so nice.
It really worked, and like X, Y, and Z, and she's like, yeah, I read the script, and it was like, yeah, there's gonna be a close shot of your tongues while you're kissing, and she's like, yeah, I'm fine with that, or whatever, and I'm like...
you just liked it.
Yeah, just
you and everyone else.
Just tell me you liked kissing Megan Fox.
Yeah,
like, come on. Who wouldn't?
But I really think that that's an aspect of this film which I think if it had been fleshed out a little more, which again I understand the limitations at which they probably could have done that. But like if they had done a little bit more of that, like not those high school girls not really understanding their feelings towards each other, whatever, while also navigating this like stressful situation. I think we got a little bit of that, but I think that if you kind of lean into that thought process more while watching this movie, it is very much like a confused high school, like love story in a lot of ways. Whether again between friends, between you know whatever,
which is always very complicated.
But yeah, I think that would be something I'd be really interested to see. Do you think we can really even do Fuck, Marry, Kill with this movie? Because they're all in high school, so basically everyone is ruled out except for their moms and J.K. Simmons, who has a hook for a hand. And what, are we supposed to assume that Chris Pratt is like 20? I'm fucking killing him.
I don't know that we can. I think we've made our stance on the fact that Megan Fox is very hot, and so is Amanda Seyfried, clear enough.
So Jen provides some fun facts for us. She basically will like she'll skim through the IMDb fun fact section or like trivia section to pick out the good ones for us. And it is a little gross that I guess Megan Fox dieted like crazy for this movie and got herself.
But she didn't have to.
She got herself under 100 pounds for this movie. She's less than 100 pounds in this film, which is fucking crazy. And I understand, like, you're a demoness. She looks unhealthy in parts of it, and that's on purpose. You know, big bags under the eyes because she hasn't
CGI existed, though,
yeah, she
in
hasn't
2009.
She hasn't fed in a while, or whatever the fuck that is. But, like, literally 97 pounds doesn't look good on any adult. And knowing that, watching this, I was like, yeah, she does look a little unhealthily skinny.
Yeah.
Because it's like... I just didn't like it, but because they are making her as the sex symbol, but she's like literally skin and bones, which is a little upsetting to see. But she is, I mean, I know she takes a lot better care of herself now, and she's talked about sort of like those pressures that the film industry has put on her to like maintain this super quote unquote like sexy, like idealized body type. But I don't really know what the context for this was. If they're like, oh, we need you to look emaciated and skinny because you are literally a dead person, or if it was like, you're the hot girl and you're going to be constantly in low-rise jeans and crop tops, so you better have a flat stomach.
I feel like she could have looked pretty much the same at like 95 pounds or 120 pounds. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it, and 120 pounds is still like light.
Underweight, yeah, right.
Yeah. Like, just put like fucking some red eyeshadow under her eyes, make her look tired as shit.
I don't know if it was this whole like, oh, we're constantly going to be putting you in these like over-sexualized outfits to re-emphasize the position of your character. So like,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't really know the context, but
yeah, no,
she was crazy skinny. But yeah, she is beautiful and amazing, and I support Megan Fox in everything she does, even if she's gonna date Machine Gun Kelly, who I don't know a lot about, but he seems kind of weird.
He's on that like weird like the craze of like Pete Davidson, Machine Gun Kelly kind of craze.
Yeah.
Which is not for me, but like
Men
if
who
it's
look
for you,
diseased, yeah.
fair enough. I want yuck.
I get it. I kind of get it. I kind of get wanting to date someone who looks unhealthy. I mean, I don't have Munchausen's by any means, but like the thought of feeding someone soup.
Sure.
If somebody has like really dark eye bags, I'm like, hey, what's up? But yeah, I think Fuck, Marry, Kill's kind of off the table. Basically, I would marry J.K. Simmons and his one hook hand. I would fucking Needy's mom, Amy Sedaris. I also would kind of like to marry Amy Sedaris. And then, I don't know, who do I kill?
Kill Jennifer's
Chris
mom?
Chris
Pratt, yeah. Oh,
like,
100%. If there's anything I feel strongly about in the Fuck, Marry, Kill, it's that I'm killing
Chris Pratt.
Yeah, no, I think that's the right move.
And I have to say, I think we really knocked it out of the park for cocktails with this.
Yeah, we had a sex on the beach, which was really...
It was amazing. So
we thought about this for a while.
Because in the movie, they have 9/11 tribute shooters, which is the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard. But
it feels wrong to do. But I'm not going to do that.
But upon looking up the recipe, they're actually almost impossible to make. So basically, if you like pour alcohols of different density into shot glasses, you can get, kind of that layered
but
look.
it's like...
But it was
what,
red,
like
white...
Baileys?
It was like red, white, and blue were the colors. And so basically, if you're using liqueurs, they all have the same density. So you have to do like these very varied... densities of liquor. So you can do like, I tried to look at it was like blue curacao, some sort of coconut cream based liquor, and like grenadine or something, which just like doesn't sound like a good time.
None of this sounds like really much like alcohol.
I looked it up and they were like, the shooters used in the movie were not made of alcohol. And honestly, if you're going to try to make them out of alcohol, it's nearly impossible to do with red, white, and blue. So I looked up a couple different ones. It just didn't seem feasible. And honestly, I wasn't trying to like just do shots during this movie.
No, we wouldn't have been able to do this podcast if we just did shots during this movie.
But so we decided, we were like fruity, because this movie isn't gay, it's just a little fruity.
It's fruity, yeah.
So we're like, what can we do? It's like a fruity drink, but they're like, also this movie's sexy.
Sex on the beach.
Sex on the beach, which I know there's a couple different ways to do it, but we did cranberry juice, orange juice, Chambord, which is my like
that's your
key,
staple.
My staple, my key. Any drink can be improved by adding Chambord. Chambord, vodka, lime juice, and peach schnapps. Which we use McGillicuddy's. I think that's the best.
McGillicuddy's, I think, is a very New England thing.
Oh, really?
From what I've learned, I watched an episode of Parts Unknown recently.
I love Anthony Bourdain.
Fucking love Anthony
Rest
Bourdain.
in peace.
Yeah, but he did like a South Boston episode and all that stuff.
Oh, and he was like McGillicuddy's?
Yeah, he was doing like Mint McGillicuddy's, which for anyone that's listening from the New England area,
hell yeah.
Shout out. I can't rip Mint McGillicuddy's anymore because I've just thrown up so many times drinking it.
But a McGillicuddy shot,
easy, but
the peach one is great. If a little essence to any drink, I honestly only put a half shot in ours, and the whole thing reeked of peach. It was amazing.
What's your favorite McGillicuddy's though? Because my favorite is root beer, but I also really like grape or cherry because they taste like
Sodas. Do you like the apple pie one?
I wouldn't say sodas. They taste like medicine.
Yeah, in a good way.
In like the best way. Like it's easier to take than like NyQuil.
Do you like the apple pie one?
Apple pie's kind of edged towards that place where I've taken enough of it that it's a little hard to do, but I don't hate. If it's chilled, I can do it.
That's why I like it, is because it's so easy. It edges into that territory beyond Fireball is just gross, but the apple McGillicuddy still has that cinnamony apple twist that is nice to the taste, but not hard to swallow. I do agree with you, though. I like the peach, I like the root beer, I like the grape, I like the apple. Basically,
Have
I
you
agree
had the cherry one yet?
Yeah, I like the cherry.
Cherry's good, yeah.
I don't care for the mint. I don't really think mint belongs in any place
It's hard.
outside of toothpaste.
I will take like mint shots or anything like that, but if it's like, have you ever heard of a haircut? Or it's also called a dirty Girl Scout. It's pretty much where you go and honestly, thematically, this is kind of good because of the way they use Hershey's syrup in the film. Is you like go and you,
I think a mudslide could also be good.
Yeah,
for this
you
movie.
pour like Hershey syrup into your mouth and then you like rip the nip too. So it tastes like
a thin mint.
Thin mint.
See, I would say like I'm gonna project an unpopular opinion, and I know that I'm wrong about this, but I just don't like thin mints. I don't like mint and chocolate together as a rule.
I've known this for you've had a
I know
very
I'm
strong
wrong.
opinion about this for a very long time.
I know. I know I'm wrong. I know a lot of people like it, and I get it. I just don't.
It tastes like
personally.
toothpaste,
It
right?
tastes like toothpaste to me, and I'm like, toothpaste is for like gum, floss, and toothpaste, and that's it for me. I like to keep it segregated.
You won't eat like mint chocolate chip ice cream.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I don't judge people who do, because like
to each their own.
I can kind of see the appeal. You know, about Ben Affleck, I don't see the appeal. If you like Ben Affleck, I really would love to know why. But mint and chocolate, you don't have to explain that to me. Like in theory, I get it. In practice, not for me.
It's in the same vein, right?
But so for this one, we did a Sex on the Beach, but I also bought those little sword skewers.
That was really cute. I really enjoyed those.
Thank you. That you put in your drink. So I skewered a little maraschino cherry and some lime on a little sword because I figured that this movie is a little bit violent, so that I would do a little artillery twist.
I liked that a lot.
And we put that in
there. It's really
there.
thoughtful.
Thank you. And I thought that was the way that we made our fruity drink the most true. Also, it was kind of like a milky red color, you know, because mixing together.
A bit bloody.
A bit bloody. Yeah, I would say you could also drink a Bloody Mary, but like that's up to you because that is a strong choice.
Do you like Bloody Marys?
If somebody were to give one to me for free, I would probably drink it, but I would never choose it. If somebody was
Would you ever make one for yourself?
Like, I've been at functions where people are like, oh, we have Bloody Marys. I'm like, well, if it's that or nothing, you know?
Yeah.
I'll take the Bloody Mary, but I would prefer a mimosa. I prefer, if we're doing, like, brunch cocktails, like, it's not my choice.
Not mimosa.
It's
Bloody
not
Mary,
like I can't stomach it, though. Especially, I love it.
It's heavy. That's the thing about it. It's really heavy.
I love when it has just, like, a big fat slab of bacon in it or something weird, though, because I'm like, well, at least it's a snack. You know?
Yeah,
At least I can fuck around with a Bloody Mary that comes with a snack.
A Bloody Mary is one of those things, like, I can have a Bloody Mary and just a Bloody Mary, but if I'm eating anything else, I can't have a Bloody Mary. But, like, a Bloody Mary sometimes feels like an entire entree
meal.
in
Yeah,
itself.
it's a meal. It's heavy. I agree.
But yeah,
Fuck, marry, kill. So what do you pair? So we have our Sex on the Beach cocktail. You can also attempt your hand at the 9/11 shooter. I would love to see any.
Yeah, if anyone wants to give it a shot, let us know.
What about a snack for this movie? So at point, I was trying
suggested ribs.
Ribs! If you have ribs, I think the funniest fucking thing in the world is that everybody gets a little bib and you go ham on a full rack of ribs.
I think anything meaty would be really good. You can
funny.
have like, it's not so much like themed, but like if you want to do wings with this movie,
that would be cute too.
I think wings would
be
be
a
good.
lesser, but still like I get it.
Yeah.
But also I don't know if I'd like want to be eating meat while watching people getting eaten. But also, so at one point, Amanda Seyfried fucking makes a fried bologna sandwich with nothing else.
Absolutely not.
Fried bologna
Not
on
doing
white
that.
bread. No mayo.
No chance
No
in
cheese.
France.
Nothing. I could not even in good faith suggest to you that you do this.
Please don't do that.
And then I'm trying to think of other points throughout the
I
movie.
love that
where
she had a ferret too.
oh my god, just scampering around on the ground.
She like gave half the sandwich to her ferret. I'm like, okay, vibe.
Ferrets are really smelly.
I knew that, but like I do.
They're cute.
Yeah, that's
They're
my
cute, but
thing.
they're
Is I do
Me
really
too.
like the idea of ferrets, but I don't think I could ever practically have one.
I guess they're like hard to take care of too, because they're really smart too, and they'll try to like escape their cages and shit. I don't know.
See, one of my things is like I love my dogs, but I don't like having dog hair all over me all the time. But ferrets don't seem any easier.
No. Yeah, they're like smaller and more mischievous and like less cuddly.
I'll just have to get something hypoallergenic.
a labradoodle.
Oh my god. I dog sat these like big like labradoodles once and they looked dude, I showed you?
They look like humans.
Yeah, no, they look like humans in dog
Trapped.
costumes.
It was
They're the
terrifying.
smartest things.
Was it for a hockey player? Professional hockey player?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, no, my mom like worked, yeah, I don't know if I should be saying
You got
this.
connections and you
Yeah,
labradoodle
no,
sat.
I labradoodle sat. I watched James Bond and got freaking Shake Shack.
That's amazing.
It was a great night. I just hung out with these dogs. But
I think
yeah,
you should
no.
make ribs, or I think honestly just a good old fashioned pizza with this movie. I think it's really like fun.
I don't know. I feel like we've said pizza
I know
so
we said
much.
pizza too. Or
We go back and forth between a cheese plate and pizza.
But like fancy pizza or like House of Pizza, and I'm like, go to your House of Pizza for this, you know, whatever town you live in, House of Pizza, order from them. You know, support a local business.
Fair enough.
But
I'd say if you don't feel too bad about it, make something meaty.
Yeah, true. Or popcorn. I think this is a popcorn movie. We ate like little chippy doodle doos. We ate these sriracha flavored chickpea pops. I don't know.
So good.
We're not a sponsored podcast, but the hippies, the sriracha flavored ones.
If you want to sponsor us,
If you'd love to send me free sriracha flavored chickpea puffs, I'd love it. But I think
don't pay us, just send us chickpea puffs.
This is a popcorn movie, though, for sure. Like,
yeah, no, you're
on
definitely
the edge of my seat, like popcorn. I mean,
For sure.
it's the lamest thing in the world to say that a movie should be paired with popcorn because that's so obvious. But
Do you ever put hot sauce in your popcorn?
Henry does, but he likes these crazy hot sauces that make my eyes water.
I'll just put
Yeah, it's just
like Frank's.
Frank's, yeah.
Frank's I can do, and I do really enjoy like.
I love a
hot
sweet
sauce.
popcorn too. If you mix some M&Ms in there, a handful of buttery popcorn with M&Ms.
See, I don't love sweet popcorn, but I can. Okay,
What about kettle corn?
kettle corn I don't mind, but like, have you ever seen those those popcorns like in chocolate?
No,
And I'm like,
no,
it's
no.
fucked up.
No.
If you can separate the popcorn from the M&Ms though, I think you're in the right there. But I do like some hot sauce on my popcorn. I think it really adds to it. Yeah, I think you're right on that. I think popcorn would be a good one for this film.
What movie would you follow this up with?
That's really hard. I would say another cult classic, and I would say another one about murder, and I'm gonna go with Heathers.
That's so good!
Yeah. That was right off the dome,
That
too.
really, that's
Usually
crazy.
I have to think about these for a long time, but Heathers really fits the bill on this. If you're looking for one about murder, and I don't even want to say female empowerment, but it's
Yeah, like deeply questionable and confusing female friendships.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
right?
exactly.
I totally get that. Mine is way less good, but I'm kind of going from the people with a connection to
No, I like when we do this though.
people
Okay.
the main
What
character
have we
has a
got?
connection to the otherworldly demonic spirit
Okay.
presences. I'm gonna say Donnie Darko.
Who's in Donnie Darko that I don't?
Jake Gyllenhaal and Maggie Gyllenhaal. Donnie Darko is a
But what's the connection there? No, I know those two.
well, just basically he has that.
Oh, I
whole-
thought it was one of those things that we were doing actors. That
Oh
were
no.
connected. Okay,
I'm saying
okay.
thematically,
Okay,
a person
okay.
with a connection to an otherworldly demonic spirit type thing.
That
I
was
would
his
say
breakout role, wasn't it?
I love a Jake
I haven't
G
seen
film.
it.
It's amazing. It's one of
It's
those.
been
ones-
on my list for ages.
It's really amazing. You watch it and then you read whatever fan theories about it, and then you immediately are like, let me watch it again.
yeah.
I really like that movie a lot. Maybe also for some reason I'm thinking Rocky Horror. I don't know. If we're doing cult
classics,
like
that's
gay,
the
gay cult classics.
No.
All right, so to wrap things up, 1 through 10, what do you rate this movie? I'm gonna give it a 6 and a half.
It's one of those films. I don't love it, but I like it.
It's fun to watch.
5.5, 6.
Yeah, fun, But if somebody was like, what are the movies you recommend I watch before I die? I don't think I'd put this on there.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was cute. It was nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad I watched it. I'd never seen it. I'm glad
I wish I liked it more, but it just didn't do as much for me as I wanted it to.
Yeah, and just like honestly, in the same vein, just watch Juno.
Yeah.
Like if you're
Listen to the Juno soundtrack.
Oh, the soundtrack for this movie kind of sucked. It was very like 2000s edgy, pop punky.
Yeah, but you and I gasped when Florence and the Machine
that
came
was the
on.
one good moment. There was one good moment.
They used
that
the
was
same
it.
song from the band in the movie like 6 different times, and then Florence came on,
Ooh.
and my breath left my body.
It was really good. So thanks everyone for listening. It's Pride Month here on The Swamp. If you have any gay movies, just DM us, hit us
Please,
up. Twitter,
let us know.
Twitter and Instagram. We're at The Swamp Pod. TikTok at The Swamp Podcast. Like and comment on our shit on TikTok, please, for the love of God.
Send us an email.
Oh my God, an email. theswamppod@gmail.com. We love an email.
We also have, if you want to be really professional, a LinkedIn page at this point.
We have a LinkedIn! Holy shit! Yeah, so if you want to connect with us on LinkedIn,
follow us,
get us those connections. We are not trying to blast this podcast with advertisements because we're not sellouts, but we are trying to make some friends. So,
if you have a podcast and you like this podcast and we might like your podcast, let us know. I would love to promote your stuff and
right, and I would
just find some more podcasts to listen to. Honestly,
truly, at this point in time, I don't know a single other person who has a podcast.
Nope.
So let's get to know each other. I'm not that smart, but also I do this every week. So
wait, I do know someone with a podcast. Actually, my good friend Martin. We hang out every 2 weeks on our sync Zoom, and he has this podcast called Everyone's Special and No One Is. And he talks a lot about his musical experiences, and I want to give him a quick shout out and let you know if you are a musically inclined person, you might be very interested in his podcast. And he talks a lot about really some personal experiences in the music industry and some just really great general observations. So go listen to that if you are at all interested.
What an amazing name. Everyone's special and no one is.
It's a spin-off of sort of the Incredibles, actually, which was our first podcast episode where Dash talks about how
if everyone's special, then no one is.
Yeah,
that
exactly,
is so true.
exactly. It's a great title, and
That's
he's got
amazing.
a lot of great insights, and I think just generally great podcast. So
also, if you're chilling, if you're super smart, if you have a movie podcast or just any podcast and you're like, these two could learn a thing or two from me and be like, my favorite movie is, I don't know, whatever, and you want to talk about it, like, hit us up. We're venturing off into new paths in life, and we would just love to hear from all of you. We always love to hear from all of you. Instagram, Twitter, and everything, anything, email.
yeah, you know where to find us at this
Our
point.
website too, merch, so we can pay Jen. She's so lovely.
Yeah.
And we just want you all to know that we love you. And if
thank you so much for listening.
If I was possessed by a demon, I wouldn't eat you. I would just spread some love. And I would just, we could all hold hands and sing Kumbaya, and it'd be really nice.
We can sing Florence and the Machine.
Also, Megan Fox, if you want to be on the podcast, hit us up.
Yeah, come on. Hey, Amanda Seyfried too. Come on.
Oh, shit. Fuck.